Sometimes you can be not thinking straight, and I haven't really been on my game lately when it comes to some photography. So I guess if I admit this, then you'll know that, yeah, I'm human just like you. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm out here walking all around taking pictures, and I'm thinking, why does this not look like infrared? What is going on here? This is crazy. What am I doing wrong? Well, I'm using my Z8, which is not an infrared camera. My Z50 is my infrared camera. And that's at home. So there might be a pretty good reason why it looks like a standard camera rather than an infrared camera. Duh. Hey, welcome to another video. So this time we're going to do infrared photography with an actual infrared camera. Alright, let's take a walk. Let's see if I can find something to use with an actual infrared camera. This is a local park that I like to come to once in a while. Thankfully it's not too far from my house since I had to go home and get my actual infrared camera. But they clear it out from time to time, so if you don't come back for a few months, then it can look different. For a while they would let it just get overgrown, but I think because we have so many fires down here in the summer with the heat, I think they try to clear out the brush as best they can to alleviate any fire issues. So it does open up for different scenes. You find different trees that maybe you didn't see before, different compositions. Along this path that I'm walking on now, they used to have all these little bushes along here. I used to love taking photographs of some of these little leaves at certain times of the year, but unfortunately they've cut them way back and there's not as many of the particular type of leaf that I used to like to photograph. I'm sure they'll grow back eventually, but for now those are kind of out of the realms of possibilities. But it should open up to other things. Like I said, they clear out this brush here, and what it does, it opens up compositions that you may not have seen before. Like this tree here, this was always covered around other trees and you couldn't really see it as a standalone tree. Now, one of the things that I like to do sometimes is convert them to black and white, and when you get these blue skies like this, much easier to do when you convert to black and white. One reason why it's always important to turn around and look behind you. I was photographing that one tree. I turned around and looked behind me, and because of the way this path was situated, I didn't see this tree on my way forward, but when you come backwards, there it is. So always turn around and look behind you. You never know what you're going to find. I know there's some coyotes in this area. I've never seen one in the park here. I've seen them almost directly across the street, so I know they're around. But thankfully I haven't run across one in the woods here. My guess is they're in here somewhere, but they're probably more scared of me than I am of them. They probably scatter if they see me or hear me, catch wind of me. I haven't seen any fox. Oh, there's a gopher tortoise. This park, if you've seen some of my other videos, this park is known for their gopher tortoises. Usually they're not out this time of day. They get out and eat early in the morning or late at night, but they burrow into the ground. And here's one here. I've actually seen this one out of his burrow a few times. Yeah, he's had enough of me already. I'm not going to bother you. But that's a gopher tortoise. He's going down into his little hole. One of the things that I enjoy about infrared photography is that it forces you to think of things in different ways, meaning, you know, I have an idea of what the colors are going to look like in infrared, even if I convert it to black and white. And so they're different. Even if you have a regular camera and you want to convert it to black and white, it's still a little different. Or especially when you have these blue sky days, you wouldn't necessarily think they're great days for a regular camera, but they're great for infrared. And so it forces you, I don't want to say to get out of your comfort zone, but it makes you practice in a different way. It improves your photography. Even if you're not all that great at infrared, it does make your mind think differently and think about compositions different, and think about, do you want that blue sky? Do you not want the blue sky? Are you going to leave it in the infrared colors? Are you going to convert it to black and white? Sometimes you don't know till you get it on the monitor back home, but it does force you to think. Like these little leaves over here with this red and green. This would be great for a regular camera. I'm not so sure it's so good for infrared. But you learn that over time, and it just, again, it forces you to think differently. And if you want to improve your photography, shoot different genres, shoot different ways, shoot different compositions. It's only going to improve your photography. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to take a ride up to the beach and see if I can get a infrared shot of the beach. May not be able to get a parking spot. Day like today, it's probably all crowded. So if this is the end of the video, thanks for watching. If you like it, I usually forget to ask, please like and subscribe. And if I'm back with you in a few minutes on the way to the beach, well then, I guess you'll see my ride to the beach. All right. So we'll head to the beach. I'll share a little bit of my area with you. Just at this light here, if you were to make a right, I think that's where a certain, I'm not sure if he was British or Scottish singer who had a girlfriend named Maggie May. Had a home right down there. He might still have it. But there's a lot of pretty famous entertainers, at least here in the US, UK, made their way here. There's a hotel right here on the corner. Used to be the Ritz-Carlton. Now we call it, or at least I call it, the EAU. EAU Palm Beach Resort and Spa. I imagine they probably still do. But when they go on tour, the Rolling Stones register in a hotel down the street, but they stay in this hotel right here. And anytime they're touring the southeast part of the United States, they fly in and out and stay in this hotel. So they might be here for a week. Mick runs that beach, and I didn't show you the shopping center across the street, but apparently Keith goes over there and sits and has coffee. Of course, in his black leathers and his black pants in 80 degree weather. But whatever. Gotta be who you gotta be, right? But these homes along in here, quite a few famous people live up behind these hedges. There's one particular famous piano man, not named Elton John, who just sold a home. One of these right here might have been, I'm not really sure, might have been This one here behind this hedge, I'm not sure, but it was right in this area somewhere. But he just sold it and moved a little bit further south. He's still in the area. And there's a famous news person who lives over here who just bought maybe that house, but he just is moving into this area. So there's a lot of famous people. Used to be a boxing promoter by the name of Don King. I think he used to do a lot of the Ali Foreman fights. He lived over here. I think he's passed away, but I'm not sure. But they tear down some of these homes and put up new ones. Millions and millions of dollars. But it's a nice ride to the beach. I do it every once in a while if I just want to relax my mind. I used to come up here and photograph sunrises a lot. For whatever reason, I just haven't gotten my lazy butt out of bed and done it recently. Another home under construction. You come up here and you go around this turn and then you hit the ocean. So then the houses are on my right instead of on my left. The ones that were on the left, like that one, they're all oceanfront properties. And then you come up here and you're right along the beach. Still hard to see because I believe most of these people that have the houses on this side have little cabanas and all on this side, so they probably own the land all the way to the beach. That's my guess. Problem with coming here in the mornings, especially on the weekends, you get bikers and they'll be in groups of, man, sometimes 20, 30, 40 bikes. Like these guys here, there's only 2. But they get these groups and they go right down the middle of the road and you can't get around them. They're not supposed to do that, but unfortunately they do, especially early on Saturday and Sunday mornings. Occasionally then they back up the traffic enough, they'll pull over a little bit so people can get by, but it becomes an issue. They have these bicycle clubs, I guess. They all put on their neon green and yellow outfits and off they go. Alright, I'm coming up to the what's called the Boynton Inlet, which is where I'm going to park if I can find a parking spot. Maybe take a quick picture of the beach and infrared photography now that I have my infrared camera with me, and then get on home. But this is where a lot of the boats pull out to go fishing. Yeah, there's people pulling in. There's a few spots, a few parking spots. It's not quite season yet. I mean, it is, but I guess a lot of people hasn't been a terrible winter up north yet, so maybe they'll come down after Christmas, after the first of the year. But man, you get here in January and February on a day like today, and you ain't finding a parking spot after about 8:30 in the morning. There's a little cabana thing over there where the old guys play chess and checkers all the time, over there by that Coke machine. I don't know if you can see it or not. Alright, let me park so I don't bang into somebody's car. Well, we made it to the beach. Try and get a couple infrared shots. So if you're sitting in the cool weather right now, feel sorry for me, huh? Again, not a great day for regular photography, but for infrared, convert it maybe to some black and white, why not? This time of day you get a lot of the afternoon fishing tour boats that go out just after lunch. You got the morning launches and you got the afternoon launches. So I just noticed that 3 or 4 of the big named fishing boats just all went out pretty much at the same time, within 2-3 minutes of each other. Nice day like this, calm waters. Yeah, they're going to be filled up. They're going to be out. I'll take a walk down here, see if we can. Occasionally you'll see a sea turtle or maybe some fish down here in the water. See what we can find. So this is only a 10-minute drive from that little woodland park I was at. So it shows you a little bit of the diversity in the landscape. You can go from one area to another with just a short drive. I know there's times I'd love to live near the Lake District in the UK for a short period of time. It gets too cold. But sometimes we don't appreciate where we live, right? You got this crystal clear water. Usually you can see some fish, not always. Like said, occasional sea turtle, maybe even a small shark. Certainly barracuda. I don't even see any barracuda right now. Alright, if you made it all the way through, I appreciate it. By the time I left the beach, there were no parking spots. A lot of high school and college age kids kind of rolled in. I don't know, maybe they got out of class, or it's not that time of year. I don't think college is let out for the semester yet. Maybe. I think it's a week or so, or maybe a week early for that, but who knows. But it did fill up, and I'm on my way home. I don't know if I got any portfolio shots today. I don't know if I got any decent shots up at the beach, but I thought I'd give you a little view of the beach, a little bit of the ride back. A lot of people knocking down the homes and putting up new ones along this road here lately, and some vacant lots. So it's kind of interesting. But you get to see some of the beautiful homes along here. It's not necessarily the best. It's a nice view. It's not an area you want to take photographs, but it's certainly a beautiful view for just on the way riding home. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you would. I'd sure appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed some of the views along the beach, in the woods. Hopefully I came up with a good image or two to show you. And until next time, you take good care, huh?